Welcome back. It's TNT time. So today's chat was inspired by a post our friend Katie Storino shared about actress Renee Zellweger wearing a fat suit for her new series, The Thing About Pam. Katie posed the question, if the character is meant to be a plus-sized woman, shouldn't they just maybe hire a plus-sized actor, or do you think it's no big deal? So I'm going to pose that same question for us, T, and we're going to talk about Hollywood wearing fat suits. So I looked at it and I was like, well, this is wrong. Why are we still wearing fat suits in 2022? And I felt that way about so many different things. You see a movie or a television show and it's supposed to be a Jamaican actor and they don't hire a Jamaican actor and the accent is terrible. Like, you couldn't go find a Jamaican actor. They're all over the place. You couldn't find a queer actor to play a queer role. You couldn't find an Asian person to play an Asian role, or when they have the role, it usually is a biracial person, so they are sort of the lightest, the lightest element of that race put into that role. And I sort of felt that way about the fat suit situation. I feel like we can do a little bit better now, and I feel like there are a lot of plus-size actors that are maybe looking for those plum roles and not even being offered them, or, the casting agents are just not looking for them. I also understand, though, that sometimes they want an A-lister, and so they put the A-lister into these situations where they're putting on fat suits, and they need that for the draw to watch the movie. I don't necessarily think that's a good enough argument to have people in fat suits. How do you feel about it?
Listen, I understand that it's acting, and I understand that, if you're looking for someone to play a serial killer, you don't actually have to get a serial killer, okay? Like, I can grasp that, okay? Like in certain situations, too, like in the show Hamilton, they purposely were moving away from any type of racial truth. If it's integral to the role enough to the point where you are putting someone in a fat suit,
yeah,
and you're just trying to make her look like she's fat, I think that's where it goes left for me. When it comes to aesthetics,
yeah,
I think you should stay as true as possible. Like you said, like, I hated growing up, and I would watch someone who's supposed to be playing a black woman or a black girl, and it's cast to somebody who's mixed with black, right? And it's offensive to me. And I'm like, well, I think we should be playing a little bit more true to our aesthetics. Nowadays, you're starting to see more characters where they are maybe biracial, and they're playing someone who is actually biracial, right?
It's amazing to see.
It's amazing to see, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure they were like, wow, like, I'm actually seeing this now, like, and everybody not pretending to be something they aren't, like, aesthetically, because I also just think it's insulting to the person watching.
Totally.
Like, this doesn't aesthetically match up. Also, Tracy, I think it comes down to experience. If that you're wanting a plus-size person, what that person actually brings to the role is important. If you're looking for a black woman, what that black woman would actually bring to the role. I know we're acting, but we don't have to act the whole way, right? There's some of it where it's like, no, I don't have to actually act. I know what that's like. I felt that. I think it's insulting visually to watch when someone's just like putting on a fat suit and it kind of never really looks real.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks like, does Brittany, she's the only person who can really play this role?
Come on.
I mean, that's what I'm not understanding.
There's a plethora of plus-size actors that are just waiting, actually, for these plum roles to come
Melissa McCarthy? What about Melissa
McCarthy? And what about all of the other unknown plus-size actors that we don't see because those roles don't exist? We know Hollywood very rarely are going to focus and have a protagonist that is plus size or do a biopic about a character who is plus size. So yeah, there's tons of them they haven't even mined for. Here's where things get weird, though. You know when actors have to lose a lot of weight for the role? I mean, at that point, do we say that you have to go with someone who is like unnaturally teeny tiny because the aesthetics is a part of that role?
But what are the odds that you're actually going to find someone who's anorexic? Like some of the characters, like I'm thinking of, oh my gosh, The Machinist, I believe the name is.
Edward Norton? Was it Edward Norton?
No, it's not Edward Norton. I forgot his name
Matthew McConaughey?
No. But he also, too.
I'm just going to keep going.
He also had to lose a lot of weight for another Dallas Buyers Club. I think he had to lose weight for that. Or you know what? I don't remember. But I know there was an actor who got himself weight, like to a dangerous weight.
Christian Bale?
Christian Bale, that's his name. He was eating 1 apple a day. The odds of getting somebody who's that thin. He said he couldn't even memorize his lines at one point because he couldn't even think straight.
Your brain's not functioning.
Right, so I understand what you're saying. Like, are you really going to get someone who's really painfully thin, like dangerously thin? The odds of you finding somebody who's going to be an actor and looks like that is a little bit more of a stretch. But I do think if a character is supposed to be naturally thin, you should hire someone who is naturally thin as opposed to asking somebody to lose 50 pounds.
Yeah.
I do think.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair and good. I knew if I threw that out there, you'd give me something because I didn't know where to put that. I'm like, but what about? Because it's often like, where does the argument end? Really good conversation as always, T. And by the way, y'all, have you checked out T's YouTube series, Face It? So it is back for season 2, and our good friends at Shoppers Drug Mart are along for the ride. T, what is coming up for episode 4?
Okay, so we got a business guru, Vivian Kay, okay?
Yes.
So we are talking about skin, all about skin. She has experienced eczema, and I've experienced adult acne. I don't know when this is gonna go away. It's like, they told me it was gonna go away at like 18, 19, it's still here.
Yeah.
So we talk about like, you know, mustering up all that confidence to go in front of a camera when you're having skin issues. You know what I mean? Like, how do you do that? How do you find that strength? Like, it's very difficult. There's times I've had breakouts because I've eaten feta cheese. Feta cheese I've learned is a thing I can't eat.
It's angry with you, huh?
It gets very, makes my skin very angry. But having to go on camera and be a beauty expert, everybody listen to me talk, and it's just like, and my face is breaking out, and people don't realize it could be hormonal, it could be something you ate, it could be an allergy, but people don't think that. They're just looking at me like she's a beauty expert with all of that acne going on. What's happening here? So we talk about all of that in that episode.
It's interesting because I would have never put 2 and 2 together. You're a beauty expert that happens to be having a breakout. So what? Everyone gets breakouts, but I get it. People are judgmental and they think, no, you should have the cure. Okay, so really good, and your episodes are awesome. Sounds so good. Catch Face It on Cityline's YouTube channel, and don't forget, hit like and subscribe while you're there.